The Modi government's decision to build a memorial for former President Pranab Mukherjee has created a political row, as it comes even before one has been announced for former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. We have with us daughter of former President Pranab Mukherjee, Sharmistha Mukherjee, to speak to us about this controversy and much more. Welcome to The Print, ma'am. Ma'am, to begin with, do you think the government should have announced a memorial for former PM Manmohan Singh first before it did for former president?
This controversy is totally uncalled for, unwarranted. The immediate answer would be that the former President Pranab Mukherjee passed away much before former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. So if his memorial is announced before, then what is the harm in that? But anyway, I think this is totally uncalled for because, whose announcement should come first, whose later, who, there could be some very normal reason for that. There are certain procedures that, when the government, in my case, I can tell you, the government sent me a letter, and after that, you have to send the consent letter. So first, what I was told that it will be announced along with the announcement of Dr. Singh's memorial. Then later I learned through some source that perhaps the formal consent from Dr. Singh's family hasn't come as yet. So yesterday when I went to meet the Prime Minister, I sought an appointment with him to thank him for this. So that time I was told that I can announce it. So, this is a plain and simple thing. It could be just plain and simple technical reason, and also it could be that Dr. Singh's family at the moment is immersed in grief. You have to give them some time. So maybe they are taking some time to give the formal consent letter. Why to politicize it? And Dr. Singh was an extremely dignified person. His family is an extremely dignified family. I know them personally. His daughter, Upinder Singh, was my teacher in college. To unnecessarily politicize these issues, this is, I think, totally uncalled for, and it just doesn't, it belies any kind of dignity. It's totally bereft of any kind of dignity.
But the delay in announcing a memorial for former PM Manmohan Singh has been criticized by the Congress. Senior Congress leader Jairam Ramesh has gone to the extent of saying that this is an insult to the first Sikh Prime Minister of India.
Why first Sikh Prime Minister? A Prime Minister is Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the Prime Minister for every citizen in respect of caste, class, religion. So, Dr. Manmohan Singh was not just a Sikh Prime Minister, he was a Prime Minister. He was a great economist. So, just to, identify him with a particular community itself is, I think, a very sad state of, a very sad perspective. And, again, as I say, this announcement in delay, it could be for various reasons. Unnecessarily, why to make such a controversy? And I would like to remind Congress, though they might have forgotten who Pranab Mukherjee was, given their very short-term memory and perspective. But Mr. Pranab Mukherjee happened to be a very, very senior leader of Congress who was associated with the party for 50 years. Before becoming president, he was for 5 years. Before that, he was for 45 years. He was a senior leader of the party and associated with CWC for 30 years. Why, after his passing away, a formal CWC condolence meeting, why wasn't it held? Why did not Congress demand a memorial for my father? And again, if Mr. Jairam Ramesh is talking about Sikh Prime Minister, I can also say my father was the only Bengali president of India. So by not holding a CWC condolence meeting, by not demanding a state memorial for him, is it Congress then insulting the entire Bengali community? I'm saying it in context of Jairam Ramesh ji saying that, the BJP government is insulting a Sikh Prime Minister. So in that context, I'm saying, because I don't like, categorizing between these communities as far as the august offices of Prime Minister and Presidents are concerned. But if Mr. Jairam Ramesh is saying this thing, then I would like to ask this counter question to Congress.
But ma'am, a senior leader had apparently said that, having a condolence meeting for former presidents is not really the norm.
It is absolutely rubbish, because I was also told that that it is absolutely wrong, but that it doesn't have. But after my father's death, when I was reading his diaries, I came across this entry that when K.R. Narayanan passed away, so our formal CWC condolence meeting was held, and condolence resolution, condolence message was passed, which was drafted by my father only. And this is most logical. Congress is the grand old party of India. So the president passes away and CWC doesn't hold a resolution, a condolence meeting. It seemed kind of something wrong with it.
But why
of
do you
course,
think that happened then?
I don't know. I don't know whether it was deliberate, whether it was a utter loss of institutional memory. It was a total forgetfulness about the norms, traditions, conventions of Congress, how Congress conducted itself in certain situations. What is the tradition of Congress? Perhaps the people at the helm of things, around Gandhi, probably they don't even know about these traditions. Probably they don't even know about these conventions. Maybe it was a total lack of institutional memory. Or if it was deliberate, I don't know. I still don't have the answer that why such a simple thing as a CWC meeting through Zoom, because it was COVID time. So why wasn't it held? I still don't have the answer.
Ma'am, a senior Congress MP, Danish Ali, has apparently said that, a memorial is being, it has been announced by the Modi government for Pranab Mukherjee because of his love for the RSS. How do you react to that statement, considering Congress so far has not officially clarified?
I would challenge Danish Ali to ask Rahul Gandhi that why did he hug Narendra Modi in parliament? That same Narendra Modi, Rahul Gandhi's mother, Sonia Gandhi, called Maut ka Saudagar. If by going to RSS and from RSS platform, highlighting, giving a speech about Congress ideology, which talks about pluralism, about inclusivity, about constitutionalism, about secularism, if by doing that, if Pranab Mukherjee becomes a Sanghi, then by hugging Narendra Modi in parliament, Rahul Gandhi becomes a close associate of Narendra Modi. So I dare Danish Ali or all these people, who say such things, by their own logic, then Rahul Gandhi is an associate of Narendra Modi and he doesn't have any right to criticize him.
But do you think the Congress should at least clarify on this comment?
Of course, Congress should clarify, but the very fact is Congress not clarifying, that shows that there is some kind of rot in the party. On one hand, they say that BJP is appropriating Congress's legacy. But it is Congress itself which is pushing away their legacy, which is, humiliating their senior leaders. It is current generation of Congress leaders. And Danish Ali, I have heard his name for the first time, and somebody told me that he himself has recently joined Congress.
He was with the BSP.
He was with BSP. So what does he know about Congress ideology? What does he know about Congress traditions? What does he know? But just for, making some random statement for something. But the sad part of it is that Congress is not saying that this is not our party line. So that means they are actually condoling, they are actually, not condoling is not the right word, they are actually accepting whatever the, so this is something Congress need to answer for. That why are they denigrating, why are they humiliating their own legacy? If today I was in Congress, I would have said that, accept it gracefully and say that, even a BJP government, cannot overlook Congress's legacy. The same thing happened during Bharat Ratna, ceremony. Nobody from Gandhi family attended it. Of course, there were other senior leaders, and that is the time, I said that thank you, Narendra Modi ji, for acknowledging that Congress's major contribution. So that's why, you have given Bharat Ratna to my father, who for the majority of his life was a Congress leader. So, Congress should be gracious enough. Congress should be wise enough. Congress should be politically savvy enough. Forget about gracious. Grace doesn't exist in today's Congress. but they should be politically savvy enough to embrace it, to welcome it, rather than trying to denigrate their own leaders.
Right.
They did the same thing to PV Narasimha Rao. I mean, it's sad, it's tragic.
Ma'am, in the past, you have talked about, how the party workers feel alienated in the Congress today due to the, current state of affairs and the way they have sort of deviated from the ideology.
Absolutely. The kind of language is being used. Just go through my social media, my timelines. This is not Congress ideology. Congress talk about freedom of expression. They are the upholders of freedom of expression. But anybody dares to, criticize their leader, Rahul Gandhi, they will all pounce on you. So is freedom of expression only when you are praising your leader, not when you are criticizing your leader? So is that freedom of expression? They talk about being inclusive. What is that inclusivity? You are denigrating BJP government. Here is being far more inclusive, I would say. They have built a memorial for PV Narasimha Rao. They have offered land to build memorial for my father, who was a lifelong Congress ideologue, Congress leader. So where is Congress inclusivity in this? Where is Congress tolerance in this? These are the basic values of the Indian National Congress as I knew it, as I read about in the pages, in the history. But I think that Congress lies only in the pages of history. Today, Indian National Congress should change its name and either call it Rahul Congress or probably call it Gandhi Parivar Private Limited or something like that. That will be more honest.
Ma'am, you have also been quite vocal about, the treatment of your father by the Congress, the kind of name calling that took place.
That is only after, my book was published. Of course, when he went to RSS, it was all kind of, nonsense was being peddled on social media. But Congress, at least at that time, had the decency and I would say the political astuteness. To that time, Congress officially said that Pranab Mukherjee held a mirror to RSS. Because they saw his speech, they read his speech. It was like a total, I would say, a publicity of Congress ideology from RSS platform. So that time they welcomed the speech. Now what has happened suddenly? What has happened especially after he passed away, and when my book came out, the way me and my father was trolled, abused, and I also wrote an open letter to Rahul Gandhi, quoting those tweets, sexual abuse, sexual comments, and but there was not a single tweet condemning that. They could have said that, Sharmistha, we do not agree with you, whatever you are saying, or you should not give public statement. But we condemn this kind of language being used against one of our very senior leaders. This is not Congress culture. That should have shown Congress's strength. But now what has happened, that they think, that just, if I abuse, I'm going to get rewarded. So if that is Congress culture, then I think they should seriously introspect that what is wrong with the party and why a diehard Congressy like me or many others like me, they feel alienated from this Congress.
Is this the disenchantment that led to you quitting active politics?
Total disenchantment, total. And to be very honest, I have got great personal regards for Narendra Modi ji, and I'm grateful for his government. But across party line, the political discourse is going down so badly. I mean, look at Ramesh Biduri, one of the major BJP candidates in Delhi Assembly elections. The kind of misogynist statements he is making, it is unacceptable. I'm sorry. I mean, across party line, this kind of narrative which is going down. Sorry, I can't, digest that. So I decided to quit politics. There were many other reasons also, because I felt I decided to quit politics in 2020 only, when my father was alive. That was after the last assembly election. I felt Congress didn't even put up a fight. लड़ने से पहले ही हथियार डाल दिया. And I was getting disillusioned with many things, within Congress. I was not, to be very honest, convinced about Rahul Gandhi's leadership. I was quite, getting quite disgusted with this whole culture of psychophancy within Congress. and especially around the coterie of Rahul Gandhi. So these are various reasons I decided to quit politics.
But since the time you quit till today, we saw in the Lok Sabha, the party did slightly better. Do you think things have changed for better?
Well, in Lok Sabha, they did well, I would say. And it was unexpected but very unwelcome. But then after that, look at what has happened to Haryana. What has happened to Maharashtra. So the thing is that, this is only the political analyst which can say that, what were the reasons behind. It could be, there is sometimes it happens that there are various factors, the various factors. But the issue is, just politics, as far as I understand, is not a one election game. It is, in some election you lose, some election you gain. So just by, going by one election, you can't see. If Congress would have, gained in, say, for example, they gained in Lok Sabha, if they would have, continued this trend, I would have said very well. But again it lost, in two major state elections. And Congress, now within the alliance itself, the leaders, they have started questioning Rahul Gandhi's leadership. So it is not just one election game, it is an overall strategy. You have to look into it. And Rahul Gandhi has been in politics since, many years. So under his leadership, Congress has been continuously going down, except for this one upsurge in this current election, 2024 election. But that doesn't balance out all the other losses. If it was like this coming down and then from 2024 onwards you are going up, but that didn't happen again. So all these things, it's valid for people to question the quality of the leadership and the quality of the strategy within the party.
Right. Ma'am, you were closely involved with Delhi politics. I know you have quit politics, but how do you look at the Delhi Assembly elections, considering many are saying that this time the Congress is likely to do much better? There is anti-incumbency of 10 years for the Aam Aadmi Party. BJP, on the other hand, is saying that, this time we will form the government.
Well, that is, every political party. Have you ever heard any political party contesting an election and saying that, we will not form the government or we will not win? That is not the measure. That thing is that, yes, there is massive anti-incumbency against Kejriwal government. And Mr. Kejriwal, sorry to say, has been a major disappointment for the people of Delhi. The Aam Aadmi Party, the Aam Aadmi leader, who I remember, he and his MLA candidates, they gave affidavits saying that we are not going to take government bungalows, that we are not going to use government cars. They started from an anti-corruption movement. Now he's drenched in corruption. From whatever reports I have seen about what is called his Sheesh Mahal, it's unbelievable. The kind of expenses that has been incurred, for his residence. So that's unbelievable. So Mr. Kejriwal has thoroughly exposed himself and the infrastructure of Delhi. Since my childhood, I am in Delhi. The legacy of Sheila Dikshit, the 3 times Congress chief minister, it's still all over. The next government, that is a Kejriwal government, the least they could have done is to at least maintain that. The infrastructure of Delhi is going down the drains. Even all the flyovers, all the roads, they are in absolute shambles. They are, it just piddles, during the monsoon, and the whole Delhi roads are flooded. The pollution in Delhi has become a killer pollution. So I don't think, and I seriously hope that Kejriwal doesn't win, whether Congress, whether BJP, whosoever comes into the government, but Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi Party should not form the government again. And my personal very best wishes to Sandeep Dikshit, son of Sheila Dikshit. I sincerely pray that, he defeats Mr. Kejriwal, and that will be a real poetic justice.
Ma'am, one last question. This entire controversy sort of unfolded after your meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What exactly happened during the meeting? How exactly that meeting took place?
Nothing. It was just a courtesy call, and I just went to convey my gratitude to him. and he has always been very kind to me, and he had a fantastic relationship with my father, which I personally feel went much beyond politics. And so, he talked about some old memories, and I thanked him profusely for this. He said, "No, मुझे पहले ही करना था, लेकिन आप लोगों ने भी इसको pursue नहीं किया." Because my father always used to say that state honors should always be given. It should be never demanded or asked for. So that's why from our family we never made any request to the government or to anybody to follow it to create a memorial for my father. So he himself did it, and it was absolutely really gracious of him, I would say, that he did that.
You said, both Pranab Mukherjee and PM Modi shared a special bond.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a very special bond. And this Mr. Modi himself told me that, when he was a nobody, he was RSS Pracharak for his work. He used to come to Delhi. And Baba didn't even know him then. He said, Dada, naam bhi nahi jante the. But whenever, sometimes, they would come across during morning walk, because Mr. Modi also used to stay, in this North Avenue, South Avenue area. So he would always touch Baba's feet. And after Baba's passing away, I also read this very interesting diary when Mr. Modi, as Gujarat Chief Minister, came to meet Baba for the first time as president. So Baba wrote that Mr. Modi came to see today, and he's a bitter critic of Congress and Congress government policies, but he seemed to have a strange soft corner for me, because whenever he meets me in private, he always touches my feet and tells me that it gives him great pleasure to do so. So I don't understand why. So, and Mr. Modi also told me this, that, I always touched his feet, I always sought his blessings, and that is not from like now, that is from many, many, many years. So this is a very strange, chemistry, I would say.
Well, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time, ma'am. This is Neelam Pandey reporting with Varsha.